Florida is one of the big weapons manufacturers for the state of Israel. So a lot of the stuff that's going over there to kill these Palestinians is being done here. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who think that this war is against Hamas, I can tell you right now that statistical data across almost every reputable news outlet, anything that you could possibly think of, have all said and told that over 90% of the people killed are civilians. So never doubt what the intentions are. This is an ethnic cleansing, and that's what's happening. So Angie Nixon, who is a real firebrand in her own right, was on the floor today saying, how many dead Palestinian children is enough? Well, according to the very first state house representative in the state of Florida representing Pensacola, Michelle Salzman says all of them. And in a way, I'm glad that she said it, because that is what a lot of people are thinking. And the way that they're acting would suggest that that is how they feel. There is no limit to how many people they are willing to kill. And why would they? So I think it's important that, we recognize just how vital this can be, because it is pretty bad. I'm going to present this. Colin, I don't see this. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. So this is important. I want you guys to all listen very carefully, because it's very faint. But here's Angie Nixon talking earlier today.
We are at 10,000 dead Palestinians. How many will be enough? One of my colleagues just said all of them. Wow. One of my colleagues said all of them. One of my colleagues also stated that this is going to dry up their fundraising if we vote on this resolution. I also want that, that's what we've become in this state. That's what we've become in this state, where we don't care about innocent babies that don't even get the opportunity to blow out their first birthday candle.
And like the true coward that she is, she decided to privatize every single one of her social media channels. So if you would, Jen, please pull up her phone number, because we're going to let you know what it is. Oh. And feel free to give her a ring, because, because this person, if you want to talk about somebody who needs to be censured, and we will be talking about that, as you know. Yes.
Let me see if I can figure out, how we could get that information. I don't think you can. You could call the state. I don't know how to do that. But I'm just sitting here trying to look up a little bit about her to see why is this woman a psycho? What is the deal with that?
I mean, I can't even assume that the lady is a Jew, even though Salzman you would think is a fairly Jewish name.
I want to see. Well, she's from Texas.
But this, I think, is just reflective of the very big problem that we're seeing right now, which is there are a lot of bloodthirsty, genocidal maniacs in elected office. And this person is certainly no exception. She really is not hiding it. And why would they? You have the president of the United States who came out today.
She's an Army veteran.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I'm just saying, not that is anything. I'm just saying in terms of, she's not. Yeah.
But total lack of humanity.
Clearly.
And unfortunately, this is probably a sentiment that is shared.
But I will say her campaign slogan is the people's conservative. So
I don't know if that would, I'm not really sure how that's even relevant.
I just think it's interesting.
She looks exactly as you would expect her to look.
She kind of reminds me of a younger Michelle Bachmann, actually.
The crazy eyes?
Kind of, yeah.
All right. So can we?
Yeah.
Well, any thoughts?
On that this is a crazy person that wants to that doesn't care how many Palestinians are dead? No, I don't have thoughts on that. I'm just, this is just going to be days and weeks just going forward, just looking at people over and over saying psychotic things and sane people trying to speak truth to that. That's basically all and we're going to see that in multiple formats.
But don't worry, Deborah Messing is out there on the Upper West Side of New York City letting you know just how persecuted her people are and how badly they're being taken advantage of.
Good grief.
The total lack of self-awareness on so many people.
It's the caucasity.
Yeah. And so when everyone gets upset, particularly comfortable white America, when they wonder why, how come, blacks don't like us or, don't trust, it's like, well, do you really have to wonder why? You're basically saying that people of a certain makeup are just lesser than. We'll get to Wasserman Schultz later, but this is
the whole thing.
Like, you all have to understand that the whole point of censuring Rashida Tlaib is because they don't want to hear anything.
I'm so angry about that.
They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to talk. They want to pretend like this isn't happening, because the truth is, as I said, from the moment this happened, the first show we did, the moment that Hamas attacked the Israeli people at the festival and a few other places, I said, oh, this is their opening. This is their opening, and they are going to take it for all it's worth. They will go full force into eradication of Gaza if they can get away.
Well, I mean, manufacturing consent is just part of the thing. But the people of Michigan, people of Rashida Tlaib's district, you need to be outraged, just completely outraged. And you should definitely take that out in terms of your voting. But more than that, this is so offensive to me that they voted. First of all, the free speech aspect, the fact that you're censuring an elected representative for speech. And again, I don't care what her speech is. I don't happen to care whether I agree with it or don't agree with it. I don't even care if it's remotely hateful. I really don't. It's just speech. It's speech. We don't censure, like the idea that we're censoring for speech instead of things like, I don't know, insider trading, bribery.
No.
Right. Like those things. We're going to censure for speech. So let's just put that aside. Okay. Like that's the main thing like I have is the speech issue. But people, how are we not enraged that we are sitting through a genocide? Our country, the people in this country are at an economic, Jordan calls it the economic Hunger Games. Like we're living in a climate apocalypse.
Haven't you heard the economy's doing great?
Like all these things crumbling around us. And our Congress people, and I don't mean one of them or just a few of them, but a chunk of them are spending their time, our time. Those are our employees. They are spending our time censuring each other. They're all running around censuring each other with this political theater, and people are dying. And they take some moral high ground in either direction, like we give a shit. Anybody who supports this kind of theater and nonsense, I don't care if you're like, this is absurd. This is what we're paying them to do. This is what they make 180 grand a year for, is to sit there and just like 174. Sorry. I mean, but who knows what their benefits are and stuff.
That's a whole other story.
But this is just ridiculous. That this is how they're spending their time. Is censure. I'm going to censure you. No, I'm going to censure you. No, I'm going to impeach him. This is really how they're spending their time.
This is just another form of high school.
It's so ridiculous. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.